I wanted to pause here for a couple moments and just explain a little bit about what I've been doing here. Um, because before it's going to be like a little time lapse. And so what I'm doing, I got really picky about about the composition of this. And after I did that initial sketch as the demo, I was like, oh, really, I feel like I just I didn't feel like I liked how the space went, and I really wanted these cherries to be kind of in this upper right hand corner. So I just erased it and redrew it. I mean, you could also just simply tear the paper off, but I get a little bit cheap because this is pretty nice paper, and I don't have a ton of it. And so I just hung in there and I just redrew until I felt pretty good with it. I really wanted these branches to kind of almost look like, um, not to be too, I'm so dramatic, but like kind of like crosses, like Christ-like kind of things. I doubt if any art historian is going to look at this and think that, but that's what it means to me, and that's what's important. And then, and laying down the background. I prefer to do that first in general. And initially, it's kind of complicated because you're dealing with all these little like spaces around the stuff. And how you get around that is you paint really light, really loosely. And so I kind of went around a little bit and just sort of let things flow a little bit. And when I go to paint the actual branches and the leaves and the cherries, then I'll tighten up on it. And I wanted kind of I could have done this first. It would have been, my life would have been much easier. But it is what it is. And I'm pretty satisfied with it. But like I could have laid a gradient down first, and then did the drawing on top of it. And that would have been totally fine too. It's going to have a little bit of patchwork quilt effect for what I feel with what I want to do with this. To me, it's expressive and I'm cool with it. Okay. And just going forward, I'm going to be laying in the colors and tones on top. I'm going to let things dry out a bit. Oh yeah, the other thing is the colors that I chose as a background, I was kind of thinking of like a sunset type thing. So that's why I've got sort of these dark blues at the top and the more like, maybe it's a sunrise. Wait, which direction does this stuff go? So you can read this a couple different ways. But that's what I was going for because a lot of times, the sunset of somebody's life or the sunrise and how things ebb and flow with nature. So those are my deep thoughts. And I'll go from there.